Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Welcome to Aitkin High School for a Friday night girls basketball matchup between the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers and the Aitkin Gobblers. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you on yourliveevent.com for the pregame show, where we're going to get you set for some Friday night hoops. It was a long drive for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted as they drove just over 2 hours to get here to Aitkin High School. So as you can imagine, stands not as full on the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted side, mainly because who wants to drive 2+ hours in negative degree weather? Can't blame them. However, on the Aitkin side of things, packed stands, crowd starting to fill in. You can't see it on the camera. Take my word for it. From wall to wall, it's starting to fill up here. Everyone ready to see their Aitkin Gobblers take on the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Coming up on the pregame show, we'll take a closer look at tonight's matchup with team comparisons. We'll hear from head coach of the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, Drew Waldebig, and get you the starting lineups ahead of tonight's matchup. We'll be right back on the pregame show on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
On yourliveevent.com, Frank the Tank Parkinson with you at Aitkin High School as we get you prepared for some Friday night girls hoops with a clash between the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers and the Aitkin Gobblers. Let's take a look at how these two teams measure up as we get you closer and closer to tip-off. The Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers bringing a record of 2-1 into tonight's game, coming off of a 67-56 win over Swanville on December 4th. This is a well-rested basketball team that has gotten 8 days off, and I myself am intrigued to see if they show any rust or if they show that the rest was a helping factor. The Lakers met with Aitkin last season, falling in a close one by a final score of 54-51. So this is a Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted team that's looking for revenge on Aitkin's home court. On the other side of things, the Aitkin Gobblers bring in a record of 1-3 with their lone win coming last game when they defeated Mille Lacs 41-35 on December 8th. This is an Aitkin team that posted an impressive record of 19-9 last season and are looking to get the ball moving here tonight to string together back-to-back wins here early in the season. Coming up on the pregame show, we will hear from head coach of the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, Drew Waldebig, and get you the starting lineups ahead of tonight's tip-off. You're listening to the pregame show for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted versus Aitkin, right here on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
We're back on the pregame show on yourliveevent.com, standing by with head coach of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, Drew Waldbillig. Coach, your team coming off of a big win over Swanville by the final score of 67-56. Tell us how that game played out.
The girls played really, really well. They are definitely coming together as a team. This is definitely the best team that I've had here in my fourth year as far as culture is concerned. They really play for each other, and there's not a person that's selfish at all on the team.
What part of your team have you been really pleased about so far in the early parts of the year?
Honestly, finishing plays.
Yeah.
They've done a really good job of finishing a rebound or making sure that they have a good fast break pass. They're looking up, so that's been a really big part of it. And then effort, too, regardless of the score. That's kind of our biggest thing.
You've had 8 days off. Is there any concerns with Russ coming into tonight? Had to mention it.
Yeah, of course. That and the 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
No, I think we'll be good. The girls got their bags settled in. They were really worried about the rooms, but, everything looks great. So, no, I think we're definitely ready to roll.
Despite coming off a win, there's always things to improve on. What do you want your team to improve on from last game coming into tonight?
We could improve on our offensive rebounding, to be honest. We have a few girls that will crash the board pretty consistently, but I think that is kind of our biggest area that we're looking at is our offensive rebounding.
And when your team's firing on all cylinders, what does that kind of look like?
We are fast-paced. We like to push the ball, and we have quite a few shooters, which is definitely helpful to put points on the board.
So traveling 2 hours in the ice cold, what would a win mean to your team tonight?
I think it'd be huge. Last time we did a trip like this a few years ago, it did not go as well. So it'd be nice to win another one and then head into Swanville tomorrow, or head into Zimmerman tomorrow with a win.
Awesome, Coach. Appreciate the time. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks very much.
We'll be back in the pregame show on yourliveevent.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Welcome back to the pregame show. We're live from Aitkin High School on yourliveevent.com, getting you ready for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted taking on the Aitkin Gobblers. Taking a look at the starting lineups for the visiting Lakers. It starts off with the senior winger, Tori Thorson. Junior winger, Haley Burkholz. Junior guard, Raquel Krizmarzik. Junior guard, Ari Keating. And a junior winger, Peyton Kiddick. The starters for the Aitkin Gobblers go as follows. The 5'7" senior, Tika May. 5'8" sophomore, Kate Palm. 5'9" freshman, Eva Collis. The 5'7" sophomore, Taya Hawkins. And the 5'11" junior, Casey Kaiser. We're going to take one more break. When we get back, it's time for tip-off here at Aitkin High School as we wrap up the pregame show on yourliveevent.com. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back for the Aitkin Gobblers defending their home court against the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers right here on yourliveevent.com.
Up today all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
Welcome to Aitkin High School, where we've got a very intriguing Friday night matchup between the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers and the Aitkin Gobblers right here on yourliveevent.com. The Aitkin Gobblers in black-on-black jerseys with red trim and a white stripe down the side, and the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers with white jerseys, baby blue shorts with a blue stripe. Winning the tip-off is Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. They have it at the top of the key. Pivoting around is Tori Thorson. Thorson's got pressure in her face from Eva Collis, and Collis forces the steal. Collis brings it up, leaves it for the left wing, who picks up her dribble. That's Casey Kaiser. Up to the top of the key for Tika May. Going to swing it to her left, give and go. Tika May on the baseline, dribbles into a double team, feeds it back to the corner. Dribbling to her right, Kate Palm. Kate Palm finds an open shooter to her right. Taya Hawkins fakes the shot, drops in for a mid-range, and gets the bucket in her first shot of the game. And the Aitkin Gobblers take a 2-0 lead on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Pushing the pace is Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. They kick the ball into the corner. Dribbling with her left is Burkholz. Finds a shooter off the wing, and she drains it. That's Peyton Kiddick, the 5'6" junior winger for the Lakers. Aitkin kicks it off to the right. Now to the top of the key. Pivoting around is Kaiser. Kaiser's pass gets tipped, but it does fall into Tika May's hands. May in the three-point stance. Puts the ball down, dribbles with her left hand. Now just leaves it for Kate Palm. Palm in front of the scorer's table, dribbles with her right. Gonna kick to her right for Taya Hawkins. Taya Hawkins keeps her dribble alive, now picks it up. Trying to find an open target, and that's Kate Palm at the top of the key. Leaves it for Tika May. Back to Palm. Shot clock ticks down to 1. Going up with the shot and making it is Kate Palm. last-second shot by Kate Palm, and Aitkin jumps on top 4-3 with 16:24 to go on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard, and Tika May gets a steal. May drives with her left, goes up with her left, and rolls it in nice and smooth off the glass. Aitkin up 6-3 on Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted, and there's a half-court trap in effect for the Aitkin Gobblers. Ball goes to the top of the key for Ari Keating. Keating kicks to her right to Tori Thorson. High bouncing shot, bounces out, but securing the offensive rebound, Peyton Kiddick. Kiddick trying to find somewhere to go with it. She's stuck in the corner. Crosses left, crosses right. She picks up her dribble on the left wing. Now with it and driving, Tori Thorson. Thorson turnaround, fake, goes up, and Tori Thorson, nothing but net. Aitkin up 6-5 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 15:40 remains in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. On-ball screen, picking up her dribble is Kate Palm. Shot, banks off the rim, securing the rebound and pushing the pace is Thorson. Thorson and a 2-on-2, gonna stop and pop the mid-range, nothing but net. Thorson back-to-back swishes. She gives the Lakers their first lead of the game on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Quick pass, kicks to the left, a catch-and-shoot three ball, and it's good from Kate Palm. Palm's 5th point of the game. She's got 5 of the Gobblers' 9 points, and another steal from Tika May. May dribbling to her right. Going to leave a bounce pass to the right wing for Taya Hawkins. Hawkins trying to feed it down low. Denying ball, though, is the 5'11" senior Tori Thorson on the lower block. Tika May inbounding from the baseline. Ball gets tipped and it gets stolen by Thorson. Now Burkholz has it. She's going to dribble out to her left and reset the offense. Leaves it for Thorson on the right wing. Thorson jabs left, puts the ball down, picks it up pretty quickly, leaves it in the corner. Dribble drive in the left hand, going up and off the front of the rim. Aitkin grabs the rebound. Going up and skying for it, Tika May. She now pushes the pace. It's 1-on-2. May loses the ball, gets it back, kicks it to the left wing for Kate Palm. Palm down to the corner. Pivoting around with it is Kaiser. Kaiser showing a little bit of a post game, falls up short. Thorson grabs the board for the Lakers. Tori Thorson slows it down, directing traffic a little bit. Setting up the offense are the Lakers, and a turnover, steal by Kate Palm. Here come the Gobblers. Eva Collis off the right block. That is going to be a foul on Tori Thorson as she got her right across the arm. Shooting 2 for the Aitkin Gobblers, Eva Collis. Collis, a 5'9" freshman for the Aitkin Gobblers. Gobblers currently lead 9-7 with 14:05 remaining in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. First free throw from Eva is all good. That's Eva's first point of the game. Collis lines up for the second. Good rotation on the ball, and she sinks the second one. Eva Collis 2 for 2 from the line, giving the Gobblers a 11-7 lead over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. Dribbling into the corner, Thorson. She puts some spin on it and gets it to the top of the key. Now driving and kicking it for Chris Marsic. To the corner for Kiddick. Kiddick pressure in her face. Good defense by Kate Palm in the corner. Handling it, Burkholz. Burkholz kicks it to the right wing for Chris Marsic. Chris Marsic up for Kadick. Kadick trying to feed it down low to Thorson. Thorson gets the bucket. 6 early points for Tori Thorson. Aitkin leads 11-9 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 13:25 remaining in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. On-ball screen, picking up her dribble is Kate Palm. Palm pivots around, tries to find a target. She's going to bounce it for Kaiser. Kaiser down to the lower corner for Tika May. They're going to call a travel. And my apologies, that was not Tika May, that was Taya Hawkins, who was dribbling off the left wing. Checking in for Aitkin is Ada Williams, a 5'7" sophomore, and Aitkin is going to come out in a full court press, and they're trapping the first pass they see. Tori Thorson does not seem too intimidated by the full court press, and a clean press break by the Lakers. Chris Mardick slowly dribbles up, fakes the 3 ball, gonna kick it to the left for a mid-range from Kiddick. Speaking with head coach of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted before the game, Drew Waldebig, he mentioned the one thing he wants to see this team improve on, despite getting the win in the last game, is offensive rebounding, and they are crashing the glass hard on offense. Tika May brings it up for the Aitkin Gobblers. Kicks it to the right wing to Taya Hawkins. Hawkins gets an on-ball screen. Dribble drive with her left hand. Goes up with a floater off the back iron. Grabbing the rebound is Tori Thorson. She's got a handful of them. Dribbles up the middle. One-handed, clean pass for Keating. Keating goes up, and they're going to call a foul against Aitkin. Casey Kaiser picks up her first foul of the first half. Shooting two for the Lakers, Ari Keating, the 5'7" junior guard. First shot from Keating is good. Aitkin leads 11-10, 12:38 remains in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Looking to tie things up with her second free throw is Ari Keating. Second free throw from Keating goes up, and it rattles out. Aitkin with a 1-point lead as Kate Palm brings it up on the right wing. Dribbles a little high. She gets it back, though. Hands it off to May. May to the left wing for Ada Williams. Dribble drive up the middle. Trying to find someone down below, and it gets stolen. Pushing the pace are the Lakers. They like to run. Sticking with it is Chris Mardick. Now she loses it. Tika May going to slow things down a little bit. Run a set for the Aitkin Gobblers. Kicks it to her right to Kate Palm. Palm puts the ball down. On-ball screen. Dribbles to her left. Dribble drive on the left block. Going up with a finger roll and too much on it. Out of bounds off of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted, and it's going to be Aitkin ball from the baseline. Inbounding from the baseline, Ada Williams. Sam Bender, 5'11" freshman, checks in for the Lakers. Inbound from the baseline from Aitkin. They got it at the top of the key. Kate Palm to the corner. Three ball off the back iron from Ada Williams. Tika May tries to run down the rebound, but it does go out of bounds. And it is Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted ball. Aitkin leading 11-10 with 12 minutes remaining in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Full court trap from the Aitkin Gobblers. Trying to dribble out of it is Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick is trapped. She needs help. She's not going to get any. And they're going to call a timeout. Head coach of the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers bailing his players out and wants to talk this one over and reset with 26 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Aitkin leads 11-10 on yourliveevent.com.
Got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
We're back at Aitkin High School. Aitkin leading over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted 11-10 with 11:45 to go on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. And with the ball are the Lakers. Thorson to the left, dribbling Kiddick. Kiddick with a finger roll goes off the glass and rattles out. Battling for the offensive rebound and forcing a jump ball. Good hustle by Haley Burkholz, the 5'2" junior winger for the Lakers. Possession arrow points in the way of Howard Lake, and they will inbound from the baseline. They kick it to the corner to Burkholz. Burkholz holds her above her head. Now swinging it along the left perimeter, down low. Banging down low is Sam Bender. She goes up, and she's going to be shooting two. Sam Bender shooting two, looking to give the Lakers the lead. She hits the first one. Sam Bender's second free throw, nothing but net. And she gives Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted the 12-11 lead over Aitkin on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 11 minutes, 25 seconds remain in the first half. With it on the right wing, Tika May, dribble drive to her left, to the left wing for Palm. Palm loses it, sticking with it, Molly Frankie. Now to the perimeter to Tika May on the left wing. May dribbles, crossover between the legs to her right. Gonna hand it off to Kate Palm. Actually, she keeps it. Now to the right wing for Ada Williams. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Eva Collis trying to find Tika May on the right wing, and it gets tipped off of Tika May's fingertips. And Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted regains possession. Frank the Tank with you on yourliveevent.com. Bringing it up the court for the Lakers is going to be Ari Keating. Keating trying to feed it down low. They're trying to get the freshman involved in the postgame, Sam Bender. Bender goes up, misses it. Soaring for the rebound, Ada Williams. The 5'7" sophomore winger, Ada Williams, brings it up now to the top of the key, and they feed it to the left for Schaffer. Schaffer shoots the triple, and that bounces off the front iron. Schaffer gets it back. She's going to shoot a mid-range off the back iron. Grabbing the offensive rebound and getting swatted by Tori Thorson. Thorson lobs one up for Ari Keating on the right wing. Keating picks up her dribble, finds Sam Bender underneath the hoop, and the freshman bringing the energy off the bench for the Lakers. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted now leads 14-11 over Aitkin. Picking up her dribble and shooting the three ball off the front iron, and Thorson grabs the board. Thorson pushes the pace. It's a 2-on-1. Thorson's going to keep it herself for now. Pulls up for mid-range and misses it. Rolls off the front iron. Grabbing the board for the Gobblers, Kate Palm. Slowing things down for Aitkin. Now crossing the half-court line. Ada Williams feeds the pass to her left for Kate Palm. Palm gets an on-ball screen from Kaiser. Dribble drive with her left. Ball gets dribbled and poked out of bounds. Going to remain in possession of Aitkin. Checking in for the Aitkin Gobblers, Taya Hawkins. Checking in for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted, Raquel Krismardik. Inbound from the baseline, goes over to Schaffer in the corner. Schaffer shoots. Grabbing the rebound is Kaiser. Now shooting the three ball in the left corner and missing it was Taya Hawkins. And it's a jump ball. Aitkin will keep possession. Inbounding from the baseline for the Aitkin Gobblers, Ada Williams. Williams finds Hawkins open on the wing, gives it back for Williams. Williams dribble drives and steps on the baseline, turns the ball over. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted with a 3-point lead, 14-11 over Aitkin on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Bringing it up for the Lakers, Ari Keating in front. She sees a little bit of a trap, dribbles to her left, gets fouled as she forks the ball over to the left wing. Ari Keating calm as ever against the half-court trap. Fulvin inbounds, gives it up for Sam Bender. Bender picks up her dribble at the top of the key, hands it off to Fulvin. Fulvin turns it over. Here come the Gobblers. Ada Williams on the fast break, goes up, and she's going to be shooting two. That foul goes against Destiny Fulvin. Shooting two, Ada Williams for the Aitkin Gobblers. First free throw, bounces out. Eva Collis checking in for the Aitkin Gobblers. Coming out of the game, Shaylin Schaffer. Ada Williams lines up for the second free throw. Second one, good. Good adjustment by Ada Williams. Knocks down the second one. Pulls Aitkin within two on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Full court pressure coming in from the Gobblers. Chris Marsick beats the double team. Nice little crossover move to beat the trap. She's going to leave for Tori Thorson, the star of this Lakers team, and knocking down the mid-range shot is Thorson. 8 early points for Tori Thorson, 5'11" winger. She's a senior. Ada Williams ball handles, feeds it to her right to Kate Palm. Palm in the three-point stance, puts an elbow up, keeps the dribble alive, now picks it up over to the left wing to Taya Hawkins. Hawkins steps into a mid-range and does not get any piece of the rim. Aitkin does maintain possession. They now trail by 4 to Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 8 minutes, 38 seconds remain in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Bounce pass under the rim. Smooth pass going up and getting the bucket, Kate Palm. Tori Thorson dribbling with the right. She's going to one-hand pass it over to the corner, and it goes off the front iron. Keating battles for the rebound. Now Tori Thorson with it on the right wing. Leaves it for her teammate. Dribble drive in the baseline. Going up, missing, grabbing her own rebound is Keating. It's going to stay in possession of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. Tori Thorson inbounding from the baseline for the Lakers. Two Lakers run to the corner. Looks like they had a little bit of confusion on the backdoor cut, though. Wide open is Ari Keating, and she puts in the finger roll. Heads up play by Keating, seeing the backdoor lane open up. Ada Williams with a chest pass to Taya Hawkins. Back to Williams. Williams tries to get it down to the post, and she turns the ball over. Ari Keating ball handles it. She's going to dribble drive, leaves it behind her for Fulvin. Fulvin with a sloppy pass and into the possession of Kate Palm and the Aitkin Gobblers. Taya Hawkins to the top of the key for Palm. Palm jump stop at the free throw line is going to drive and kick for Hawkins. Now swinging it to the left corner. Ball finds Hawkins back on the left wing, and a timeout is called by Kaya Davies, head coach of the Aitkin Gobblers. And Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted with an early 18-14 lead over Aitkin. We'll be right back after this full timeout right here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Trusted news, weather, and sports from your community. Look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated. KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and RJBroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
We're back at Aitkin High School. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you at Aitkin High School, where the Aitkin Gobblers trail to the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers 18-14. 7.5 minutes remains in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Catching it in the left corner, Kate Palm trying to feed it down to Kaiser, and the lower block gets tipped by a Laker fingertip. Maintaining possession are the Aitkin Gobblers. Tika May is inbounding. Catch and shoot from the inbound, and it's a swish. Nothing but net for Taya Hawkins, her 5th point of the first half. Pulls Aitkin within 1. Ari Keating dribble driving with her left. She picks it up, she keeps it. Going up with a finger roll, grabbing her own rebound. She's got 2 Gobblers in her face in the corner. They're going to maintain possession. 3 new players coming in for the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Inbounding from the corner will be Peyton Kiddick, the 5'6" junior winger for the Lakers. Pass goes too high, and it's going to be a turnover. Chasing it down, Tika May, she's going to let it roll out of bounds. Aitkin looking to regain the lead. Inbounding from the sideline, right in front of the Aitkin student section, will be Kate Palm for the Gobblers. Smooth set from the inbound, going up with a finger roll, and missing was Tika May. Couple of high IQ plays that we've seen out of the baseline sets and the sideline sets coming out with the inbound for Aitkin. Ari Keating picks up her dribble. She's going to turn around and chest pass it to Kiddick. Turning it over is Sam Bender. Here come the Aitkin Gobblers on the left wing with it. Kate Palm puts it down with her right hand. She's dribbling. She's going to go to her left to Hawkins. Taya Hawkins catch and shoot triple off the iron and out. Ari Keating grabs the board, the 5'7" junior pushing it. She crosses over to her right, going right up the center for Burkholz in the corner, and she airballs it. Ball might have gotten tipped. Keating battles for the offensive rebound, now shooting a 3 from the left corner, and missing is Chris Marsick. You could tell that the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers put an emphasis on offensive rebounding during their 8 days off, and they are just crashing the offensive glass, especially Ari Keating. You don't always see a guard come up with offensive rebounds, but Keating channeling her inner Jason Kidd. Aitkin with the ball in the left wing with it. Taya Hawkins dribbles to her right to the top of the key, picks it up, now leaves it for Palm. Catch and shoot 3 ball from Palm off the back iron. Offensive rebound secured by Aitkin, and a battle ensues where Sam Bender, the 5'11" freshman for the Lakers, grabs it and gets the steal. Chris Marsick trying to go coast to coast. She loses it. Stealing it, Kate Palm. Palm leaves it for the point guard. Tika May, senior guard, gets the call from her head coach, Kaya Davies. To the left wing to Kate Palm. On-ball screen, dribble drive with her right. Trying to get this pick and roll, but the pass was not there. Now to the opposite block, dribbling with it, Eva Collis. Collis, though, runs into trouble and turns the ball over. Bender with back-to-back steals for the Lakers. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted is running a set. Tika May jumps on the first pass she sees. Keeping it, though, Ari Keating. Keating picks up her dribble. She's in a little bit of trouble. Tika May trying to poke away a steal. Kiddick dribble drive. She's going to lose it. With the steal, Eva Collis. Now Kay Palm on the right wing. A little bit of a hesitation move. Battling through traffic. And a bounce pass to the left wing with it, Kaiser. Kaiser kicks it out to the left wing. Floater from Taya Hawkins. That one falls in. 7 points for Taya Hawkins, and the Aitkin Gobblers retake the lead. They lead 19-18 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 4 minutes, 44 seconds remains on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Lakers have it on the right wing, dribbling with it, Sam Bender. Bender just leaves it for Chris Marsick. Back to Bender. Two-man game between the two. Falling on the ground, keeping it alive now with it, Chris Marsick. She's going to dribble drive, sees the lane, finger roll. She's going to be shooting two. Raquel, Chris Marsick with the dribble drive, heads up play, seen an opportunity for a take, and she took it. 3 fresh Aitkin Gobblers checking into the game. 2 players for the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. First free throw from Chris Marsick, rattles out. Four minutes, 27 seconds remains in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Aitkin on top, 19-18 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted, and we're now all tied up at 19 after the second free throw from Chris Marsick falls. Ada Williams just going to give it to Tika May. Back to Williams. Quick passing as they enter the zone. Ada Williams dribbling at the top of the key, picks it up, going to swing it over to the left wing for May. May in the three-point stance, picks up her dribble, swings it down to the lower block for Kaiser. Kaiser goes up. They've been trying to get Casey Kaiser involved in the lower post game, and that time they were able to get the ball to her cleanly. Pushing the pace is Kiddick. They're going to call a foul on the floor. That is called against Ada Williams. 2 fouls for Ada Williams here in the first half. Baseline inbound, comes in cleanly for the Lakers. They're in the left corner with it. Chris Marsick holding above her head, now to the top of the key for Keating. Not Keating, I'm sorry, that's Fulvin. Now swinging down to the corner, quick ball movement, trying to get it to Thorson in the lower block. 2-3 zone from the Aitkin Gobblers. Dribble drive to the left wing, Ari shooting the 3 balls, Fulvin. Offensive rebound from Chris Marsick, but she turns it over. Schaffer with the steal. Slowing things down are the Aitkin Gobblers. Schaffer has it, crosses over to her right, gets an on-ball screen. She's going to dribble drive, go up with it, and fall short. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted regains possession. Aitkin leads 21-19 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remains in the first half. A little bit of full court pressure from Schaffer. Schaffer gets a reach and foul. Inbounding in front of the Lakers bench was Kiddick, and they now bring it up to the left wing. Here's Tori Thorson. Thorson, one-handed pass to her right wing. Dribble drive from Fulvin. Tries to feed it to the corner, but missed on the pass, and it's a turnover. Aitkin Gobbler basketball. The 5'7" senior point guard Tika May brings it up for Aitkin. She's going to feed it to her left for Schaefer. Schaefer crosses over to the right, gets a screen from Frankie. Now to Ada Williams on the right wing. They feed it to Schaefer. She's going to dribble drive on the baseline. They're going to call a pushing foul against the Lakers. Tika May holding up the number 2. They're going to run a set. A lot of their inbound sets have been very successful, getting many open looks here in the first half. Tika May letting her team know what the play is, and she's going to inbound from the baseline. Just going to feed a save it to the corner. Catch and shoot off the rim from Ada Williams. But securing the offensive rebound, Kaiser. Kaiser's going to get it back out to the right corner. And a steal from Destiny Fulvin. Fulvin dribbles into a trap. She finds an open target in Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick up to the right wing. Burkholz stops and pops a mid-range and nothing but net. That's Burkholz's first bucket of the game, tying things up 21 apiece. 2:25 remains in the first half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Dribble drive to her right. Ada Williams, and she shuffled her feet. Full court press from Aitkin. Ari Keating gets it. Slowly bringing it up, gives a little hesitation, dribbles to her left, immediately breaks the press. Chris Marsick on the left wing, no interest in the three ball, feeds it to Keating at the top of the key. Now a swing pass to Fulvin. Fulvin back to Keating, dribble drive, back to Fulvin. Shuffling of the feet, and a travel called against the Lakers. 2 minutes, 2 seconds remains in the first half, all tied up at 21 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Bringing up the ball for the Aitkin Gobblers, the 5'7" sophomore, Ada Williams. Williams with a pass to Tika May. May gets a screen from Kaiser. Picks up her dribble, gonna leave it for Ada Williams on the right wing. Feeding down to the lower block for Molly Frankie. Frankie getting double teamed. Jump ball is called. And a turnover is forced by the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Highly competitive game so far here in the first half at Aitkin High School. You are listening on YourLiveEvent.com. Thanks for being here tonight on this Friday night. Bringing it up, Chris Marsick, now to the left wing, shooting and missing Burkholz. Offensive rebound secured by the Lakers. Dribble drive, now down to the left block. And an and one from Sam Bender. The freshman showing a lot of potential. Bender gives Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted the lead with 1 minute, 29 seconds remaining in the first half. Scoreboard update brought to you by Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative. Sam Bender's free throw. Not much rotation, just banks off the back iron and out. Schaefer has it. She's going to give it to Tika May on the right wing. Tika May going to go to the left wing now. Kate Palm with it. Palm gets a screen from Kaiser to May. May stops and pops a three. Tries to bank it. Doesn't. Follows her shot though. Gets it. Now to the lower block for Kaiser. Kaiser loses the ball, however. Getting the steal is Sam Bender. Keating pushing it for the Lakers. Leaves it for her teammate Burkholz. Burkholz to the top of the key for Chris Marsick. Now a three ball from the right wing off the back iron. Tika May grabs the rebound. 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Tika May swing past the Kate Palm, goes up for a mid-range, gets swatted by Sam Bender. The freshman is everywhere. Sam Keating pushing the pace in the left wing, crosses over from left to right, picks up her dribble, now to the top of the key for Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick to the right wing for Fulvin. Fulvin back to Chris Marsick. Tika May jumps on it. She gets the steal. Keating all in her face. One-on-one, misses. Good defense shutting down the fast break. Ari Keating, what a motor on Keating. Doesn't stop running. Leads it to the corner for Fulvin. Fulvin bounce pass to the block for Bender. Bender goes up. That gets blocked and back off of Bender's hands. Aitkin Gobbler basketball. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted leading over Aitkin 23-21, back and forth match here in the first half. 13 seconds left on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Kate Palm brings it up. Aitkin will likely look for a last shot. Kate Palm over the top, windmill move, drives, gets her own rebound and puts it in. Way to stick with it, Kate Palm. 9 first half points for Kate Palm. We're all tied up at 23 apiece after one half of basketball. Here at Aitkin High School, we'll be back. We will take a break on YourLiveEvent.com. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you. When we come back, we'll catch you up on first half stats and get you the keys for the second half. You're listening to the Aitkin Gobblers versus the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers on YourLiveEvent.com.
All year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Frank the Tank Farquharson back with you at Aitkin High School. It's halftime, and it's a 23-23 game between the girls from Aitkin, the Aitkin Gobblers, and the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, all tied up at 23 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Looking at your leading scorers from each team, your leading scorer for the Aitkin Gobblers was Kate Palm. She had 3 two-point field goals and a 3-ball. And right behind her, Taya Hawkins, who also had 1 3-ball and 2 two-point field goals. For the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, a bit of a tongue twister. 8 points in the first half for Tori Thorson. Very confident with the basketball as Tori Thorson. Whether it's stop and pop in the mid-range or dribble driving it, she's a solid player for the Lakers. And right behind her, Sam Bender, who came off the bench and provided an absolute spark. Sam Bender is a 5'11" freshman, showing a lot of potential for this Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Laker team. One question in hand was if there would be any rust from the Lakers, the old rest versus rust debate. And they didn't seem too rusty. It was absolute back and forth action throughout most of the first half. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll give you the keys to the second half for the Aitkin Gobblers to come away with a win here and protect their home court on this Friday night. And after the keys of the game, we will have second half action right here on YourLiveEvent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
We're back on the halftime show with Frank the Tank Parkinson on YourLiveEvent.com. 2 minutes, 30 seconds until we have some second half action. Game all tied up at 23 apiece after one half of basketball. The Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers had 8 days off and traveled a 2-hour bus ride to get here to Aitkin, and they are battling the Aitkin Gobblers, searching for their second win of the season, and it would be back-to-back wins if the Gobblers can pull away with the victory. The key for the Gobblers is quite the opposite of what the key of the Lakers was coming in. Speaking with head coach of the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers before the game, Drew Waldebig said, we need to improve on offensive rebounding. They crashed the glass hard, especially Ari Keating and Sam Bender all over the offensive glass. So the Aitkin Gobblers need to adjust and box out, get those defensive rebounds, and allow more one-and-dones for the Lakers that don't give them multiple chances. 23-23 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. It's the halftime show. When we come back, second half action between the Aitkin Gobblers and the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers on YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
And we are underway in the second half, 23-23 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Dribbling with it at the top of the key and turning the ball over are the Aitkin Gobblers. With it, Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick almost lost her dribble, but maintains. Hands it off for Kiddick, who leaves it for Keating. Dribble drive in the right wing, Chris Marsick. Lots of Gobblers in her face, and getting the steal, Casey Kaiser. Tika May has it at the top of the key to the left wing for Kate Palm. Kaiser coming to set an on-ball screen, dribbling back to her right and crossing over, weaving through traffic, going up and barely missing was Kate Palm. Very nice dribble drive from Kate Palm. Tori Thorson dribbles to her right, gets an on-ball screen, picks up her dribble. Oh, nearly a nasty pass for Kiddick. Tori Thorson, an unselfish player. Inbounding from the baseline for the Lakers, Peyton Kiddick. Kiddick swings it to the right corner for Chris Marsick. They're going to roll it around the perimeter. Picking up a dribble, Burkholz. She's in a little bit of trouble and turns the ball over. Aitkin Gobbler basketball. Score remains 23 apiece on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 17 minutes remains in the game. Tika May brings it up past the half-court line. May to Hawkins. Hawkins gets a screen from Kaiser. Picking up her dribble, feeding it to the left for Kate Palm. Catch and shoot three ball, nothing but net from Kate Palm. Palm led Aitkin in scoring in that first half with 9 points. She's now got 12. Into the corner, Burkholz. Burkholz keeping her dribble alive, leaves it for Ari Keating. Catch and shoot, and it's an air ball. Grabbing the rebound, Taya Hawkins. Hawkins slows it down in front of the scorer's table, leaves it for May. Now swinging it to the left for Palm. Palm crosses over from left to right, gets a screen. Popping the three is Palm and misses long. Tori Thorson secures the defensive rebound. She's going to push the pace. Picking up her dribble, now finding an open shooter, Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick puts it down, leaves it for Keating. Keating dribbled into traffic and out of bounds. She can't believe there was not a blocking foul called there. Referees letting both teams play. All you can ask from referees is consistency, and they've been consistent with their play, with their foul calls tonight. Tika May brings it up for the Aitkin Gobblers. They lead 26-23 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard over the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. On-ball screen, looking it off as Palm. She's going to drive and kick to May. May picks up her dribble, back to Palm. Palm in the left corner, now to May. May feeds it down low, going up with it, Kaiser. Kaiser, so smooth in the low post. Kiddick's pass gets kicked, and they will maintain possession. Checking in for the Lakers is the freshman Sam Bender, checking out Burkholz. Inbounding right in front of us will be Peyton Kiddick, the 5'6" junior for the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Kiddick passes back to Keating. Tika May jumps on it and forces the jump ball. Half-court pressure from Tika May. May right in the face of Keating. Keating's going to just push through, and nearly stealing it is May. May reaching quite a bit. No call, though. It gets stolen from the double team from Kate Palm. Palm one-handed fling past the Hawkins on the right wing. Leaves it back for Tika May. Trying to reset the offense. Feeding down to Eva Collis. Collis gives a screen. Picking up her dribble is Hawkins. Now to May. Dribble driving and leaves the bounce pass for Kaiser. Quick ball movement from Aitkin. Top of the key, Taya Hawkins. Hawkins for May. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Patient offense from the Aitkin Gobblers. Kate Palm dribbles into the corner, picks it up. Now out to Kaiser. Kaiser nearly turns it over. Hawkins picks it up, going to put up a floater and get it. Taya Hawkins bailing out the Aitkin Gobblers there with the shot clock waning down. 30-23 Aitkin on top of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Cooperative scoreboard. We've got a timeout from Drew Waldebig, head coach of the Lakers, as the Aitkin Gobblers jump out to a 7-0 run to start the second half. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you. We'll take a quick break on YourLiveEvent.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted trying to put an end to a 7-0 run to start the second half from the Aitkin Gobblers. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you on YourLiveEvent.com. Lakers have the ball, feed it to the corner. In a little bit of trouble, Chris Marsick dribbles out of the trouble, keeps it alive, grabbing it is Thorson. Thorson going to give a little hezzy move, picks up her dribble, leaves it for Kiddick. Kiddick pressure in her face, gives a half a spin move. Sam Bender down to the block. Bender chest pass to Chris Marsick, quickly feeding to Thorson in the corner. Dribble drive down to Bender. Going up and shooting two is Sam Bender. Aitkin leading 30-23 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Eva Collis called for the foul on that one, and she has 3 fouls in the game. So as expected, she will check out. Missing the first free throw was Sam Bender. 2 for 4 from the charity stripe. Bender, nothing but net, and she gives a stare down to the student section who screamed during her free throw. Pass too high, possession to the Lakers. Love the stare down from freshman Sam Bender after she wets the free throw right in front of the Aitkin student section's face. Full court press from Aitkin, dribbling with her right hand, Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick to her left, a couple of crossover moves. Now leaves it to the right wing. Give and go. Oh, and missing the layup was Chris Marsick. Jump ball is forced. Aitkin fans do not agree with that call. Aitkin does have possession, however. They lead 30-24 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. And a full court press. First time we've seen this from the Lakers. Tika May beats it with sheer speed. She slows things down, dribbling with her right hand at the top of the arc. On-ball screen with her right hand, Hawkins. A little bit of a dribble drive. Ball gets poked free, but they maintain possession. Dribble drive from the right corner on the baseline, and Kate Palm gets the bucket. Full court press from Aitkin. Directing traffic, Chris Marsick, and she misses the pass. A little bit of a miscommunication between Chris Marsick and Kiddick. 8-point lead for Aitkin. They're looking to pull away from this thing. 13:30 remains on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Tika May will inbound right in front of us at the half-court line. Kate Palm bringing it up. Tika May going to run off to the right wing. On-ball screen from the left wing. Hawkins dribbles. Leaves it for Palm. Palm dribble drive. Puts an elbow up. Drive and kick. Top of the arc. 3-ball from Hawkins. Rattles off the front rim. Kaiser gets the offensive rebound. Pivots in. She's in a little bit of trouble. Thorson all over her. Knocking out of bounds. Aitkin will maintain possession. 17 seconds remains on the shot clock. Aitkin leads 32-24 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted in the second half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Tika May, your inbounder. May launches up to the top of the arc. Hawkins bounce pass to Kate Palm, puts a dribble down, gets an on-ball screen. She's going to swing it to her left to May. May dribbled with the right hand, going to go towards the top of the arc, leaving it for Palm. 2 seconds remains on the shot clock, and it rattles off the rim. Bender grabs the board for the Lakers. Here comes Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick crossover to her left, feeds it to the corner for Fulvin. Top of the arc now, Thorson. Thorson dribbling to her right, picks it up at the free throw line. Leaves it and is going to throw a screen for Chris Marsick, and they call it a reach and foul against Aitkin. That foul will go against Tika May, her first foul of the game. Shay Schaefer checks in for the Aitkin Gobblers. Inbound comes in for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. On-ball screen, crossover to the left for Kiddick. Kiddick trying to feed it down to Bender on the low block. Bender's got a couple of Gobblers on her. Catch and shoot 3-ball, rattles out for the Lakers. We got another jump ball, and that will be a turnover. Possession arrow points the way of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. Inbounding on the baseline will be Peyton Kiddick. Couple of screens at the top of the arc. Kiddick trying to find an open target. Nothing really happening, but she does get it to Thorson safely in the corner. May giving on-ball pressure. Bender from the post misses, gets her on board and misses again. Kate Palm with the rebound, swings it over to Tika May, who's going to slow things down and get the offense set up. May skip past to Kate Palm. Palm drive and kick. 3-ball from Aitkin, air ball. Kaiser gets the board to Tika May in the corner. May leaves it for Shay Schaefer. Picks up her dribble, gives it for Kate Palm. Palm to May, May to Kaiser. Kaiser, clean move from the lower block. Tori Thorson brings it up, 10-point deficit, and Bender brings it back down to 8. Aitkin leading over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted 34-26. 11 minutes, 35 seconds left on the clock in the second half on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Shay Schaefer dribble drives with her left hand, picks up her dribble, leaves it for Kaiser on the left elbow. Catch and shoot three ball for Aitkin, and nailing it is Kate Palm. Third triple of the game for Kate Palm. Lakers showing a little bit of frustration. And a timeout is called. The Aitkin Gobblers lead 37-26 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. Here in the second half, we'll take a quick break and continue on with the second half action. Frank the Tank with you on YourLiveEvent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
We're back on YourLiveEvent.com where the Aitkin Gobblers lead over the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers 37-26 with 11 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the game. Tika May's pass gets a wide open layup coming out of the timeout. Kate Palm with another bucket. Peyton Kiddick with pressure in her face. Shay Schaefer, a lot of pressure. They're going to call a reach and foul. That foul will get called against Kate Palm. Inbound from the Lakers to the top of the key. Tori Thorson swings it down low off the hand of Boonstra. Goes out of bounds. Full court pressure from the Lakers. Tika May beats it with ease. She's beaten every press break that she's seen tonight. Tika May crosses over to her right on the logo. Now feeds to the left wing. Kate Palm crosses over from left to right. Catch and shoot three ball from Tika May off the back iron. Tori Thorson swats it away. Schaefer collects the rebound. She turns it over, and she's going to get a reach and foul directly after. Another foul called against Shay Schaefer, her second foul of the game. Full court press now from Aitkin, who leads 39-26 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Full court press is beaten. Chris Marsick with it in the left corner. Bounce pass for Burkholz. Burkholz down to the high post. Tori Thorson gets the bucket. Tika May, full court pressure in her face, just one Laker in her face. Spin move, drops the ankles of Boonstra. Lower block Kaiser, Thorson fouls her. Shooting two, Casey Kaiser. She's been putting in some work in the paint. All three buckets from Kaiser coming from inside the paint. Casey Kaiser lines up for her first free throw of the game, and that one rattles in, shooter's touch from Kaiser, extending the Gobbler lead to 12 with 10 minutes, 11 seconds remaining on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Casey Kaiser lines up for the second free throw. Off the back iron and out. She splits the free throws. Keating gets the offensive rebound. Full court press from Aitkin. Showing a little bit of a trap at half court. Over to the right wing for Burkholz. Burkholz picks up her dribble. Kate Palm all in her face, going to maintain possession of the Lakers. Howard Lake inbounds from the baseline. With it is Alexis Boonstra. Senior guard. Now crossing over to left is Kiddick, leaving it for Keating. Keating dribbling with her right, bounces it back out, keeps the dribble alive. Tika May in her face. Down to the corner in a fight. Jump ball is called. That'll be Aitkin basketball. Aitkin has been dominating the second half, outscoring their opponents 17-5 here in the second half. It was a 23-23 ball game at halftime. Full court pressure showing from the Lakers. Tika May looks to beat the press as she's done every time. Hesitation move, and she brings it across half court. May gonna leave it for Taya Hawkins. Hawkins to the top of the arc to Molly Frankie. Frankie to her left for Kate Palm. Palm now to the top of the arc. Coming off of a screen is May. Picks up her dribble, feeds it to her right to Hawkins. Trying to get the ball down low for Kaiser. Kaiser getting double teamed, and Bender forces the jump ball. And it's going to be Laker basketball. 9:22 remains in the game. 40-28, Aitkin leads over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. A lane violation, turns the ball over, back to Aitkin. Taya Hawkins inbounds from the baseline. Nobody open. Tika May puts her arms up. She gets the ball on the left wing. Gonna rifle a pass. Two gobblers in the way. May chaps her chest, so that was my bad. And it is a turnover. Laker ball. They desperately need to go on a run. 9 minutes, 15 seconds remains. Tika May, full court pressure right in Keating's face. Keating crosses her up though. Now just lofts it over for Koch in the corner. Turnover. Here comes Kate Palm. Palm picks up her dribble. Launches it to the left for Taya Hawkins. Going to leave it for Tika May. Resetting the offense. May to her right for Palm. Palm getting a screen from Kaiser. She's going to rifle up a three-pointer and air ball. Saving it. Good effort for Molly Frankie. Tika May with it. Scramble ensues. Aitkin has the ball. Timeout called by head coach of the Aitkin Gobblers, Kaya Davies. Once she saw she had possession, smart timeout by Kaya Davies. Aitkin leads 40-28 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on YourLiveEvent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search Your Live Event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at YourLiveEvent.com.
We're back on YourLiveEvent.com. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you. Second half has been all Aitkin. They lead over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted 40-28. 8 minutes, 43 seconds remains in the game on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Pass gets kicked. Tika May will try it again, inbounding it from the baseline. Aitkin runs a set. May's just going to rifle it to the top of the arc. They leave it for Kaiser on the right elbow. One dribble, picks it up. With it, Kate Palm. Dribbling with her right, swings it to her left for Tika May. May gives a jab step, now dribbles. With her left, crossover from left to right. Leaves it for Taya Hawkins. Hawkins down to the corner for Kate Palm. Kaiser pivoting around in the paint, and they call a reach and foul. That foul is against Samantha Bender, the 5'11" freshman for the Lakers. Tika May will inbound. She's holding up the number one. Oh, that ball gets tipped. Maintaining possession. Good hustle by Taya Hawkins. Overhead pass. Dribble drive from Kate Palm. She's going to be shooting two. In case you missed it, the Minnesota Wild making headlines with a blockbuster trade, acquiring one of the best defensemen in the country. Quinn Hughes traded from the Vancouver Canucks to the Minnesota Wild. First free throw is good from Kate Palm. Palm lines up her second free throw. She's leading all scorers. And the second free throw is good. 21 points from Kate Palm. Aitkin leads 42-28 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted with 8 minutes, 14 seconds remaining on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard here in the second half. Full court press. Beating it is Tori Thorson. She's got numbers. She's just going to pull up at the free throw line. That ball rattles out. The Lakers have gone cold here in the second half. Reach and foul called against Tika May. That is May's second foul of the game. The Lakers will inbound from the baseline. Tori Thorson gets the inbound. She goes up. She's going to be shooting 2. Thorson has 10 points. 8 of them came in the first half. She's trying to get the ball rolling here in the second half, trying to pull her Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers back into the game. Thorson shoots her first free throw. Nothing but net. Thorson shooting to 2. Second one from Thorson, nothing but net, and she gives a stare down to the student section. They've been yapping during all the free throws. Kate Palm brings it up the court on the right wing, getting a screen from Collis. Eva Collis gives a screen for Ada Williams. Williams feeds it to the left for Hawkins, getting it down to the low post. Kicks it back out, top of the key, 3-ball, Ada Williams, and it's good. Catch and shoot 3-ball from Ada Williams, her first 3-ball of the game. Peyton Kiddick brings it up, gives a half a spin move, goes back to her right, crossover to her left, crosses half court, gets a screen from Thorson, picks up her dribble, now down to the left block. Burkholz puts it up, a shot, misses, battling for it, Bender. Bender going to just bounce it to the corner, 3-ball from Kiddick, air ball, Chris Masick gets it, Raquel Chris Masick. Good hustle by the guard. Full court press from Thorson, gets beat. Ada Williams showing a little bit of speed. Keeps the dribble alive in front of the Aitkin bench. Now leaves it behind her for Kaiser. They swing it around to the top of the arc. Handoff pass, Ada Williams now driving a kick. Trying to feed it down to Kaiser in the lower block. Getting the steal, Peyton Kiddick. Kiddick bringing a little bit of momentum. Feeds it down to Thorson. Thorson quickly double teamed. Right up the middle, smooth pass. And missing the layup was Haley Burkholz. Sam Bender, however, gets the offensive rebound. Second chance opportunity from the Lakers. Aitkin leads 45-34. 6.5 minutes remains on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Lakers within 11. Kate Palm on the right wing. Aitkin's gone cold in the past few minutes. 3-ball from Kate Palm off the front iron. Rebound secured by Haley Burkholz, and a reach and foul is called. Aitkin leads 45-34. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted slowly crawling back into this one. Came out of the second half a little bit flat. Shooting in the 1-1 will be Haley Burkholz. If she hits the first, she will shoot a second. If not, play will continue right off the rebound. Checking in, Alexis Boonstra for Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. First free throw rattles in. Haley Burkholz hits the first. Second free throw off the back iron and out. Bender, however, gets it. She's going to be heading to the line. Lakers within 10, playing some gritty basketball. Offensive rebounding. It was an emphasis for the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers during their 8 days off, and you can tell they worked on it. They've been crashing the offensive glass. Sam Bender lines up the free throw. She hits it. She gives a Jordan stare to the loud and yappy student section of Aitkin, who screams during every single free throw. And the freshman, Sam Bender, making sure she knows that they know that she's not worried about the screams. Sam Bender shoots the free throw, and that is nothing but net. Full court press. Tori Thorson in the face of Taya Hawkins. Hawkins keeps the dribble alive. One-handed pass to Ada Williams. Williams gets an on-ball screen, dribbling to her left, picks it up at the top of the arc. Now to the right wing for Hawkins. Nothing there. Thorson in the face of Hawkins. Going to go back to the top of the arc. They're going to swing it to the other side. Now top of the key, Ada Williams. Play and catch with Kate Palm. Palm goes up and back for Ada Williams. Shot fake to the left elbow. Hawkins, 3-ball off the front iron. Grabbing the rebound, Taya Hawkins. Tika May with it. Now to her left, 3-ball off the iron from Ada Williams. Sam Bender secures the defensive rebound. 8-point game on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 5.5 minutes remains. A trap at half court. They barely get out of it. Sam Bender puts the ball down. She's got it in the low block. Gives it for Thorson. Thorson gets the bucket. Aitkin leads 45-39 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. This could get tight down the stretch. Tika May dribbles into a double team, turns the ball over. All the momentum on the side of the Lakers. Peyton Kiddick will be the inbounding right in front of the Aitkin student section. Clean inbound for Chris Marsick. Chris Marsick dribbles along the right baseline, puts a little stiff arm up, and a smooth pass, cutting, scoring. Haley Burkholz. They pull within 4. Full court press and a trap right on the ball. And a timeout trying to halt the momentum is Kaya Davies. The Aitkin Gobblers lead 45-41 over the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you on the call. We'll take a quick break on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
Frank Parkinson back with you on yourliveevent.com at Aitkin High School, where the Aitkin Gobblers lead over the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers 45-41. All the momentum on the side of the Lakers. They had a 12-point deficit and climbed back into this thing with 4:46 remaining in the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard in the second half. Reach and foul called quickly against Howard Lake. That foul is called against Peyton Kiddick. Inbounding in front of the scores table will be Kate Palm. Palm safely gets into Kaiser, who's just going to leave it off now at the right perimeter. With it, Kate Palm trying to find an open lane to get the ball in deep. Gets an on-ball screen at the free throw line, stops and pops from left elbow. She misses. No over-the-back call. Looks like there could have been one called. Splitting the double team with smooth ball handling is Chris Marsick, but she turns it over on the pass. Tika May with the finger, a clean block. Getting back is Peyton Kiddick, not giving it up. Head coach of Howard Lake fired up. Drew Waldebig loved it. The hustle was unbelievable there. Inbounding from the baseline will be Taya Hawkins, the 5'7" sophomore. She gets it safely to the top of the key, not safely. Gets stolen by Tori Thorson. Thorson chasing down a rolling basketball. Pivots out. With it, Chris Marsick, so calm with the basketball. Just going to give it over to Kiddick. Tries to feed it down low. Miscommunication. Thorson wasn't ready for it. Ada Williams is going to get it to the point guard, Tika May. May leaves it for Kate Palm right in front of the Aitkin bench. Going to get a screen to her left. Keeps it alive, just gives it to Kaiser. Kaiser's going to look to just drive and kick, and she does to Kate Palm. Palm shot fake. Jab step. Kicks it to her left. Ada Williams back to Palm. Palm dribbles to her right. Gets a screen from Kaiser. Leaves it for Tika May. Shot fake. And a reach-in foul. Taking away the lane was Chris Marsick. Aitkin leads 45-41 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Tika May inbounds from the baseline. Gets it to Kate Palm in the corner. Palm tries to dribble drive, dribbles into traffic, safely gets it out. 3 ball at the top of the arc from Taya Hawkins. They need that one desperately, but they don't get it. Tori Thorson has it. Lakers within 4. Thorson brings it across the half-court line. 2 Gobblers trapping her. Safely gets it down to Bender. She gets trapped. Now 3 ball off the back iron. Kaiser with a big-time defensive rebound for the Gobblers. Tika May directing traffic, calling a set. Chest pass to Ada Williams on the right wing. Williams gets a screen on her left from Kaiser. Doesn't want it. Gives it to May in the corner. May bounce pass for Kaiser. Shoots a mid-range, and they call a shooting foul. Casey Kaiser will be shooting 2. Aitkin leads 45-41 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 3 minutes, 2 seconds remains in the ballgame on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Shooting 2 for Aitkin, Casey Kaiser. First free throw, nothing but net. Kaiser now 2 from 3 from the charity stripe. Kaiser airballs a second free throw. Lakers down 5 with 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. They need a bucket. No more full court press from Aitkin. They're dropping back. Ball gets tipped, going to remain in possession of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. Inbounding from the baseline, Peyton Kiddick. Kiddick has 3 points in the game. She's going to rifle a pass to the corner for Burkholz. Burkholz to Thorson, jab step, dribble drive, pull up, rattles out. Kaiser with the defensive rebound. Tika May slowly brings the ball up, trying to tick off as much time off the clock. Crossover between the legs, now a pass to the right wing. Screen from Kaiser. Lots of pick and rolls off that right wing. With it, Ada Williams slowing things down. Leaves it for Kate Palm, back to Williams. Williams gonna pop the 3 ball and hit it. That just might be a dagger, extending the lead to 8 with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. They have to push the pace now. Tika May, no reach-in called there. A lot of contact. Rifling a pass down low for Bender, and they call that reach-in there. Aitkin leads 49-41 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. 2 minutes, 7 seconds remains on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 1-1 for Sam Bender. She's shot 7 free throws so far this game. This will be number 8. That one rattles out. Turning the ball over, not being able to secure the rebound was Kate Palm, and the Lakers will get another chance. Peyton Kiddick will inbound for the Lakers. She gives a little bit of a head nod. Pass to the left arc. Swinging sides now to the right wing. With it, Kurzmarsik. Clean block from Kaiser. Kaiser doing all the little things. Defensive rebounding, blocking, getting physical in the paint. Casey Kaiser having herself a game. Inbounding will be Peyton Kiddick. Kiddick finds Thorson right in front of the Laker bench. Thorson's going to dribble to the top of the key. She likes the high post. She picks up her dribble to the corner. 3 ball, Kurzmarsik gets pinned between the rim and the backboard. Minute 45 remains in the second half. Aitkin leads 49-41 over Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. They're still trying to get the ball out, and they do. Inbounding for Aitkin is going to be Ada Williams. Full court pressure. All 5 Lakers playing full court pressure. Going for a deep ball. Right up the seam. Catching, scoring, Tika May. Hail Mary ball lands. 10-point lead, minute and a half remains. Kicking it to the right wing. With it, Burkholz. Burkholz tries to feed it down to Thorson. Looks like they're going to run out of energy. It was a spirited comeback from the Lakers, but might not be enough time to cut into a 10-point lead, especially with the Aitkin chewing off as much clock as they can. Top of the arc with it, Kate Palm. Palm dribbles to her right, feeds it to the corner. 3 ball, Ada Williams, high bounce. Over the back foul. Will get called against Aitkin. Possession Lakers. Minute and 10 seconds remains in the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Timeout called by Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted. They trail to Aitkin 51-41 on YourLiveEvent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
5 seconds remains. Aitkin on top of Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted 51-41. Game was all tied up at half at 23 apiece. Second half has been all Aitkin Gobblers. 1 minute left in the game on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Sam Bender with it in the left wing. Up for Chris Marsick. Gets a screen at the top of the arc. Pressure interface from Ada Williams. Thorson feeds it to the corner. Stop and pop. 3-ball goes off the back iron. Ball's getting tipped around. Thorson secures it. Stops and pops the mid-range off the back iron. Bender fighting with Kaiser. Rebound finds Kate Palm. 35 seconds left. Full court press from the Lakers. They're going to intentionally foul. Down 10 with 32 seconds remaining. A 1-and-1 for the Aitkin Gobblers. Kate Palm toes the line. First free throw, bottom. Second free throw from Kate Palm goes off the back iron and out. Thorson across the half-court line. Thorson's going to look to get a shot up quick. 25 seconds left on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. 3-ball gets tipped. Rebound, Aitkin, and another foul from the Lakers. 1-and-1 once again for the Aitkin Gobblers, who lead 52-41. 19 seconds remains in the game on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. First free throw from Kate Palm, swish. 4 for 5 from the line. Lines up the second one. Off the back iron and out. Tori Thorson grabs the board. She's going to look to get a quick shot up. Dribbles to her right. Feeds it down for Bender. Bender drops the shoulder, goes up. They call a shooting foul against Kaiser. Shooting two, Sam Bender. 10 seconds remains in this one. Aitkin leads 53-41 on the Mille Lacs Energy Cooperative scoreboard. Shooting the free throw, Sam Bender. Misses off the front iron. Off the front iron. And Aitkin will dribble it out. Your final score here, Aitkin taking care of business at home, 53-41 over the visiting Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, and they defeat the Lakers in back-to-back years. Coming up on the post-game show, we'll have post-game stats, your Enbridge I Bring the Energy Player of the Game, and your Big Deal t-shirt. Frank the Tank with you on YourLiveEvent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at YourLiveEvent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at Enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
I've got a math question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
We're back on the post-game show where the Aitkin Gobblers take care of business against the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, 53-41. Standing by is our Big Deal T-shirt winner, which is brought to you by Atwater Chevrolet GMC in Aitkin, Pizza Ranch in Baxter and Little Falls, W.W. Thompson Concrete Products in Brainerd, Wide's Major Appliance in Brainerd, Matson Lumber in Nisswa, Don DeLinger Automotive in Brainerd, BigDealAuctions.com, Tykes Carpet Castle in Brainerd, Hills Auto and Tinting Solutions in Baxter, and our Big Deal T-shirt winner is the 5'11" junior Casey Kaiser. Casey, you were incredible in the paint tonight, especially. Your team likes to get you the ball in the post. How comfortable are you in the lower block?
It's been a little bit of a struggle at the beginning of this year, but this game, that's really what we've been working on the past couple days of practice. So it's felt really good to get back in the paint, get comfortable. That's where I play, so it felt good to get back in there.
And did your team put an emphasis at halftime on stopping the offensive rebounds from the Lakers because you were crashing the defensive glass hard?
Definitely. That's like one of the main things that our coach has been telling us to do
Microphone issues.
That's okay. Is to just crash the boards. That's been one of our biggest struggles all year. So to come out and get all the rebounds is definitely a huge win for the team.
And how nice is it to get back-to-back wins? What does this win mean to your team?
This is just huge momentum for the team. We have two big games coming up, Monday and Tuesday. So just to be able to get a good win going into the weekend and then Monday and Tuesday is really good for our team.
What can you say about your teammates? You guys had a full court press going most of the game. You guys like to run. You really showed that you have a lot of gas in that engine.
Yeah, it's just pushing each other constantly. Every day of practice, always pushing each other to get better. And we're really close as a team, so it always just helps being there for each other.
And it shows. Casey, thank you so much for the post-game interview, and congrats on the Big Deal T-shirt and player of the game.
Thank you.
And now standing by is our Enbridge I Bring the Energy player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge Energy, and it's Kate Palm. She filled the scoring sheet tonight. 23 points, Kate. You were playing with a lot of confidence tonight. What did you see out there?
My teammates helped a lot with giving kicks and keeping the floor wide so I can drive. And then our post did a good job on keeping the defense away from me. And it was just good. They get me open shots.
The two-man game between you and Kaiser, the off-ball screens, the on-ball screens on that right wing, how important is it to get those constant screens and get kind of openings?
They're so important. They get me and Casey open, and so when she gives me a good screen, I can either shoot or I can kick to Casey for a layup, and it's just a back-and-forth relationship, and it works.
Have you been this consistent from three all season? Because tonight you were dialed in from the perimeter.
It was a little tough in the beginning, but then I realized it's kind of a matter of you got to keep going until you hit, and so that's what I've been doing so far, and it paid off this game.
Now, your team is a young basketball team. What can you say about your teammate Tika May and the senior leadership that she brings to the squad?
Tika, she's so important for us. She keeps all our energy high. She keeps us going, and if one of us is down, she's there to pick us up, and it's just really good for us. She's just the most energized person on the court always, and it's just, we love her so much.
I have to ask, is 23 points a career high for you?
I don't think so. Last year, I think I had like 24 or something. I don't know.
Gotcha. Impressive game from both of you. Congrats on the win, girls, and have a great weekend.
Thank you. You too.
We'll take a quick break and get you the post-game statistics on yourliveevent.com.
Along with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good!
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we believe sustainability is the foundation of our success. How well we perform as a steward of our environment, a safe operator of essential energy infrastructure, a good neighbor, and a diverse employer defines our success. Learn more about Enbridge's environmental, social, and governance commitments and our Indigenous Reconciliation Plan at enbridge.com.
We're back on the post-game show. Aitkin takes down Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted by a final score of 53-41 and back-to-back wins for the Aitkin Gobblers. They are led in scoring by Kate Palm, the sophomore winger, 23 points. Other scorers to mention, Taya Hawkins had chipped in 9. Casey Kaiser, after having just 2 points at half, finished with 8, and 7 points from Ada Williams. Your leading scorers for the Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers. Your leading scorer was Tori Thorson with 14 points, and freshman Sam Bender bringing 13 points off the bench. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we are going to break things down and wrap up the post-game show on yourliveevent.com.
Question for you. When you add tolerance, subtract prejudice, and multiply efforts to treat one another with respect, what do you get? Less division. And school sports have it down to a science. Looking for an example of what can happen when we realize there's more that unites us than divides us? Look no further than high school sports in Minnesota.
This message presented by the Minnesota State High School League and the Minnesota Interscholastic Activities Administrators Association.
We're back, wrapping up the post-game show. Frank the Tank Parkinson with you as the gym is starting to empty out. Your final score here on yourliveevent.com. Aitkin Gobblers, 53. Howard Lake-Waverly-Winsted Lakers, 41. Thanks for hanging out on this Friday night. Till next time.